showed he was one of the other ones who warmed up. He was funny too. I'd say. His shows might be sold out, but I don't know. You want to go see him, I'll go.
There's a couple I'd rather see, but they can't come up.
Huh? Kevin,
I'll probably answer.
Kevin on Kevin Nealon?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wise Guys. How you guys doing this afternoon, everybody? We're glad to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. Just a couple of quick announcements before we get things going. We do ask you all the shows in progress to please keep the tabletop down to a whisper, which means no yelling or hollering out or disruptive behavior at all while the show is in progress, as a courtesy to comedians, also a courtesy to people that came to see the show. So right now, without further ado, let's get things going by bringing to the stage your opening act comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the very funny Jordan Macon.
Wow, I'm very excited to be here. I don't care what they say. I think 3 p.m. is the perfect time for comedy. What do you say? So this is the best. We have a fantastic show for you. You guys, Derrick Stroup is in the building tonight. I'm excited to be your host. Yeah, 3 p.m. on a Saturday is usually for not as fun events. I think the last event I went to that was 3 p.m. on a Saturday, it was terrible, it was twisted. You probably guessed it. I went to a baby shower. This was my first baby shower. And those are weird, odd events. Because it's weird to throw a party for someone you haven't met yet. A party for someone nobody's met yet. And they're like not even there. Well, they're kind of there, but they're in a soundproof box not participating. It's a weird event. And because it's odd to open presents for someone you've never seen. Like the mom was opening presents going, oh, they're gonna be so cute in this. You don't know. That's an outfit for a soft autumn. They might be a soft summer. You don't know. This was my first one. I didn't even know guys were allowed to be at these things. In fact, I was hoping guys were not allowed to be at these things. my wife came to me, she said, Jordan, the neighbors are having a baby shower. And I said, oh, you have fun. And she said, no, it's a Jack and Jill baby shower. And I said, those words mean nothing to me altogether. So again, you have fun. She goes, no, Jack and Jill means the husbands go too. And I was like, that sounds stupid, I'm not going. So then I was at this baby shower, and I have nothing to add when I'm there. I'm sticking out there. It's weird, there's hormones going off, my wife's getting excited and baby hungry. I'm getting bored and regular hungry, and irritable. There was a really terrible moment where I really threw off the room, where she was opening presents, and each one she would kind of show like a Price is Right item to win. And at one point she opened a breast pump, which is a normal gift for these twisted events. Are you following? And she was showing it off, and I made a big mistake that as she's kind of passing by me, I made eye contact with her. And you feel like you have to say something. And I panicked and I said, oh, that's a good model. Like I would know what I was talking about. It's terrible. There was one game I liked. We played this game where we took a piece of paper and we wrote questions for her to answer after the baby gets here. She'll read them later. So I took my piece of paper and I wrote, why did you invite me? That was kind of my main question. I've not heard back yet. They call it a Jack and Jill baby shower. Have any of you heard this before, Jack and Jill? Okay, so she was gaslighting me. That's good. That helps my case. Jack and Jill's a weird thing to call a baby shower when the husbands go to. I think Jack and Jill were brother and sister. That's odd. And it's just weird because you think of that story, and I was thinking of the Jack and Jill story, but I think we're all familiar with it. And the more I think about it, there's more questions than answers in that story. It doesn't stick together very well. Jack and Jill, where were they going?
Up the hill.
To get what?
Pail of water.
Let's stop right there for a second, okay? We're all educated people, we went to school, we know how gravity works. We know the best place to find water is the top of the mountain. First red flag. Second red flag is Jack and Jill get up just fine. That's the hard part. All of a sudden Jack's tumbling down. Did Jill push him? That should be the easy part. Second red flag. I think the story actually makes more sense if you replace water and put a baby shower there. So the naming makes sense. And here's how the story goes. If there's a baby shower at the top of that mountain, listen to this. This makes so much more sense. Jack and Jill went up the hill to go to the Jack and Jill baby shower. Jack didn't fall, he jumped. Do you understand? It all comes together. I grew up in a very religious household. I know people in Utah don't relate to this, but I grew up very religious. My family, we weren't sheltered, but we definitely wouldn't say swear words in my house. No swear words were allowed, but we could use replacement words. You know about these? Darns, flips, fetches. They felt good to say. But this is too much. Like, we were a family, we would just be hyper-focused on where swear words were anywhere around us. Like, if we'd know popular songs, we would know where the bad words were, and we would know when to sing over them with cleaner but dumber words. Shake your bum, like we would yell it out in restaurants. It went too far though, because I remember sometimes we changed words, but I didn't think we needed to. I remember when I was in junior high, the original Hellboy was coming out, and I was really excited to go see it. Yeah, it's great. And so I needed a ride to Blockbuster, so I went to my older brother, Jeremiah. Oh, I have a brother named Zachariah also, I need you to know. We're all Bible names in my family, and my parents were legitimately debating between Jordan or Habakkuk for me, okay? Do you see? I dodged a Bible bullet there. So I went to Jeremiah, and I said, hey, Jeremiah, can we go to Blockbuster and rent Hellboy? And he looked at me so disgusted. He was so disappointed. He looked down at me and said, oh, Jordan, I think you mean Heck Boy. And I said, brother, forgive me for our sins. And this is the kind of guy that Jeremiah is. He's still alive. This is the kind of guy that he is, that we grew up, like before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a thing, that we loved superheroes. We loved Saturday morning cartoons. We would watch X-Men, Spider-Man, and the first Marvel movies were coming out. and X-Men was coming out. That was like our favorite show. I was so excited. We watched the trailer. My mind was blown. I'm like, Jeremiah, when are we going to see it? And Jeremiah said, I cannot take you to see that. There's filth in that movie. I was like, what is it? And if you remember the original X-Men, there's a character named Mystique. Remember those? Okay, perverts over here. Okay. She's the one that's all blue. She can shapeshift into other people. In the comics, she wore clothes. In the movie, they're like, we're not doing that. It could have been a budget constraint. I don't know. But this was too much. So they painted her body all blue, but she looked kind of naked in the movie. And Jeremiah was like, I'm not taking you to see that. But I begged him. I said, Jeremiah, please, is there any way we can go? And he thought about it for a long time. He probably prayed about it. And he came back to me and he said, okay, we can go, but you must be willing to do this. I said, anything. He said, okay, here's what we must do. And he took a piece of paper, some scissors, and he cut out 2 small dresses, little handheld dresses, about this big. One for me, one for him. So we could go to the theater with strangers. They were there. Yeah. We could enjoy the film, and then whenever Mystique had a scene, we could just whip these out and cover her naked body from our naked eye. And she was agile too. We're flipping around trying to keep up with her. And I gotta say, that's the kind of righteousness that borders on serial killer behavior, okay? That's too far. If you ever meet a guy in the dark alley that's like, hello, my name is Jeremiah. I'm clean cut and I do not swear. And at all times I have 2 tiny dresses in my pocket. He'll kill you. So I was at Blockbuster with Jeremiah to rent Heck Boy. And we went, and this could happen back then, where we went to go rent a movie and all the copies were gone. So you just were out of luck. When all the copies were gone, I said, oh no. Jeremiah said, I'll go ask them if they have more. And I said, I'd like it if you did not ask them. He was determined. He went straight to the front desk at Blockbuster, went up to the attendant, and he said, excuse me, sir. Do you perchance have any more copies of Heck Boy in the back? You ever been with your family and you have that overwhelming feeling where you're like, I wish I was anything but related to you right now? This cashier did not miss a beat. I still think about what this cashier's head because he was incredible. This cashier looked right back at my brother and he said, oh, sorry, we're all out of Heck Boy, but we did just get in the special edition of the Goshfather trilogy. Guys, this day I don't know if that cashier was making fun of us or if he was one of us. I don't know. Guys, I'm Jordan May. Get ready to start the show for real. You guys are fantastic. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. Before we bring Derrick to the stage, we have a very funny special guest comedian. Comes all the way from Chicago. You see him on Nateland Presents. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Jim Flanagan.
Everybody, let him hear it. Next minute for Jordan. He's fantastic. Look at this, huh? 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is where the party's at. This is an interesting group of people. It really is. For some of you, this is the earliest you've gone out in a long time. Some of you, this is the latest you've gone out in a long time. This is the only time these 2 groups meet. This is pretty cool. It's a weird energy in the middle of the afternoon. Okay. It's going to be light out when we leave. Do you understand that? That doesn't happen at comedy shows. It's going to feel like you're in Vegas. You're going to walk outside like, what time is it? This is crazy. I'm happy to be here. This is my first time in Utah ever, and I love it. I did what everyone does on a Saturday afternoon in Utah. I spent the afternoon waiting in line at a brunch place, and it was worth it. Yeah, I've been trying to ingratiate myself in your culture. I've been trying to learn about it. I watched your news. Everyone's very upset about the snow. I understand that. There are a lot of strong opinions on the news about the lack of snow here. And then Sundance. And then I watched a couple episodes of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So I feel like I know everything about your community. I feel like I'm in now. Good. I'll do a joke. I'm very ADHD. I feel like that comes across very quickly. And there's a big Adderall shortage right now. I don't know if that's out here also. Okay, you guys know about this? Wow, a few real big laughs in the back. Okay. They keep interviewing people on the news about this Adderall shortage, and these people seem very angry about it, but they also seem very focused, and that's the part that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? There was a guy on the news the other day, and he was like, I've been calling every pharmacy in town every day when they open, and no one can help me. And I was like, if you can do that without the pills, I don't think you really need it. You know? Like, that's the focus I'm after. Okay? You're just trying to cheat at work. That's not fair. This is my medicine, okay? You stay out of CVS, you buy them on the playground like everybody else. You understand? I knew it was severe when I got diagnosed. I went to the doctor as an adult, and I was like, I'm having trouble focusing. He goes, I think I know what it is. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you come back in a week and take a test. And then I missed 3 appointments in a row. And then the 4th week, I showed up on the wrong day. And he was like, we're not going to need you to take that test. And I was like, what test are we talking about? But yeah, you have it for sure. I even make it into his office. I got diagnosed in the hallway. That's how I know it's severe. Fun thing I learned, don't pay a copay in the hallway. There's no diplomas out there. They can't charge you. It's what we call pro bono work in the biz. Anyway, I'll move on. It's fine. It's the middle of the afternoon. Don't let me bother you guys. I'm sorry. I got to a wedding recently. My brother just got married for the 3rd time, and thank you so much. We're very proud of him. Thank you. I know you said that. He got mad at me because I was late for the rehearsal. You know, he was like, "We need to practice," and I was like, "We've practiced enough." Okay? I mean, at this point, my speech is basically a Mad Lib. You know what I mean? Change a name, couple of new adjectives, read it to half different people. That's how it works. 3's not even a lot in our family. Our moms are married 5 times. That's probably too many. That's a lot, right? My mom has as many rings as the Olympics. That's a lot for one person. She's 2 rings away from catching Saturn. That's a whole planet. I'm sure we'll be second to a planet. I had a woman use it against me one time during a breakup. She was like, "You're afraid of commitment just like your mother." And I was like, my mother loves commitment. All right? Especially at first. You guys laugh at a weird time. That's cool. That's good. I finished the joke, a few of you laugh, a few seconds later everyone else jumps in. I feel like I'm not in on it. Okay. I'm single. Do we have single people here at all? 6 of us, that's the Utah. I know. That's we weed them out pretty early around these parts. We get married quick. We couple up early, thank you. I like being single most of the time. The only time it bothers me is when I have a new hobby and I have to fill out an emergency contact form. Because the only thing more embarrassing than something bad happening to you is something bad happening and then someone going, "Quick, he's hurt. Call his mom." Don't worry, dear, we'll call your mommy. We'll use the number you put on the form. I put my friends' names on those forms now, and I'll tell them ahead of time. They love the responsibility. So like, "Brian, I'm throwing axes on Sunday. You're on the clock from 3 till 7. Like, I'm not ruining anyone's day, but they're not going to go see a movie. One of my new hobbies, last year I started riding a bike. This is a very real thing that happened to me. I went out for my first bike ride on a brand new bike, and I got hit by a car. I'm fine now, unless any of you work for State Farm Insurance, and if you do, I'm under continuing doctor supervision. We're working through a few things on the legal end. But the person who hit me was so nice. She waited for help to arrive and just kept saying the same thing. Kept just going, I just didn't see you there. I just didn't see you there. And eventually I wanted to help, so I was like, "Hey, you don't need to say that part. I know you didn't see me there. That's implied." You know what I'm saying? You not seeing me there is the basis of our whole conversation. I can't even imagine a scenario where you saw me, hit me with a car, and then came over to talk about it. I didn't know what that would look like. You know? It was like kicking around debris, and you're like, "Oh, hey, you made it. All right." Yeah. I should probably explain what happened back there. I saw you there. I did. And I just got mad. I was like, "We got to get rid of him." So I drove as fast as I could right at you. And if I see you again, I'm going to keep trying. I really am. I don't like you. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I called your mom. She's on her way. Be here in a little bit. It's the number you guys get it. That's fine. I'm in my 40s. It's a great age to be single. The women are the best. You're not gonna get stuck in anything long term, you know. You know, right? Women know right away at this point if they like you or not. You could be in the middle of a first date, and if you chew weird, she'll be like, "I'll take the check." I'm gonna go, "Yeah, I can afford not to sit here any longer. We've got kids. I could probably get some work done. Maybe make it to a yoga class. I'm out of here. I'll see you on the apps." You know. It's great. I love it. I'm a pretty weird dude. Sometimes I'm getting 2, 3 free dinners a month out of the deal. You know, it's significant. Sometimes when date's going too well, it's like, all right, time to tell this lady about my baseball card collection. You know, we're not doing learn. I'm not paying for 2 minutes. I know what I don't like. I know my red flag. I can't date a woman who is maxed out the font size on her phone. Do we know what I'm talking about? And they're all over my key demographic. These women can't see anything. I don't know what's going on out there. Hey, this is a 3 o'clock show. Some of you might be here, and I get that. Listen, if that describes you, please don't go and get mad and write a largely worded letter. I can't send sensitive information to someone who might not be the first person to see it. That's crazy. It's like sending all of your secrets to an overhead projector and you're just hoping no one walks by. Do you know what I'm saying? That's nice. That's what happens, right? As we get older, things change. I get it. It sucks. I'm losing my hair in the back of my head where everyone but me can see it. And, that sucks to find out last. You know? My bald spot's been in my blind spot the whole time. And no one thought about telling me along the way. I went to a new barber. He did this thing after he cut my hair where he brought out a second mirror and showed me the back of my head. It's like, why would you do that? We were having a good time. We were getting along great. I was going to tip good, and now you're going to go and remind me of the situation. If I were a barber cutting someone's hair and part of it was missing, I would never show that to them after the haircut. Do you know what I'm saying? I would show that to them before the haircut to remind them that this was a pre-existing condition. I wouldn't want to get blamed for that. I would have a clipboard and paperwork like we were renting a car at the airport, you know? Like, all right, I'm going to take a lap around your head, see what's going on. You know, I got to mark down whatever damage we find. I don't know what happened here in the back, but we should probably call a manager before we go any further, maybe take a few photos. Someone told me recently there's a powder you can put in your hair. It's a fiber you can buy at the store. When you're losing your hair, it'll stick to your existing hair and it'll make it look like you have more hair. And it's great. It's very effective. I did learn one thing though. You can't really put it in your hair when it's windy out. Yeah, because then your hair will start to erode throughout the course of the day. You know? Not all at once, just slowly, like a coral reef or the ozone layer. I was at an outdoor wedding. I didn't know this information, and if you saw me throughout the day, I kind of just looked like a time lapse of me aging from high school to now. But if you saw the photos, like, hey, how much older were you here than here? Like, hour and a half. Yeah. It's like 20 years minimum. Like, well, there were strong winds from the south back there. There wasn't much I could do. This is my first time at the barbershop. They're like, hey, since your first time here, we'll give you the hot towel at no extra charge. Do they do that here, fellas? The barbershop, the hot towel? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies, I don't know if you know this, a lot of men's barbershops, we get 2 options and that's it. We can either get a regular haircut, or for a few dollars extra, once they're done cutting your hair, they'll throw a really hot towel in your face. Just for the heck of it, you know? Like we all do at the end of a long day, right, fellas? Just microwave a towel. Lean back on a sink or something else metal. And relax. Just let go, right? That's what they do. They wet a towel as wet as they can get it. Then they heat it as hot as they possibly can. Where? I don't know, probably the same microwave that make luncheon, but don't worry about that. Don't ever think about it again. Sometimes you can smell it, but usually it's hot. And then they heat it until it's so hot, they can't even pick it up with their fingers. That's how hot it is. They have to use tongs to pick it up because it's so hot, they can't even touch it because of how hot it is. And they shake it one time, because that's all it takes, just one little shake of that towel. Then they take the corner of that towel and gently press to the corner of my face and go, hey, is that too hot? Is that too hot? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then they smother me with it. You know? And I was like, oh, I was wrong, that's way too hot, please stop. But they can't hear me because while they're ironing my face, it's keeping all the yelling inside. So, yeah, so they're just pressing down harder while I'm just yelling secrets into the abyss. Like, we're opening your pores. I'm like, you're searing my flesh. There's gotta be a way to keep the pores open and skin intact. Does it feel good? Kind of, eventually, once my face stops burning, but that's probably how my face felt when I walked in that day. You can't just start putting out cigarettes on people's backs because it feels good when you stop. That's not a business plan, that's a crime. So these guys can charge $11 for hot waterboarding and I'm the only one who seems to have a problem with it? On the line, alright, you're doing good. I'm car shopping. I got hit by a deer. I didn't hit a deer. Deer ran headfirst into my car. 100% his fault. Total jerk move. I learned this: if an animal runs into you on the road, it doesn't go on your policy, right? It goes on what they call the comprehensive policy. They used to call it an act of God, which seems way worse to me. You know, I'm like, oh, God did this? Okay. They'll probably try again and not miss the second time. You know. I'd much rather one deer hate me than God be throwing livestock at my vehicle. That doesn't seem fun. I'd never drive again. I'm like, I'm taking the bus from here. And people always ask me, the deer died. The deer died. I didn't want the deer to die. I do think it's better than the alternative. I don't need a deer out there that hates me and is also rehabbing and getting stronger. I don't like that, you know. He's got like a picture of me thumbtacked to a tree while he's working out. I like to walk around the woods a lot. That's a lot of pressure. Every time someone's like, look, a deer. And I'm like, where did he see me? Split up, save yourself. We have unfinished business what he did to my Ford Fusion. I like to buy used cars online where you can put in your budget and what you're looking for, and you can watch the amount of cars you can afford dwindle down to almost zero. You guys familiar with the process? Put in my budget when I want it, and they're like, okay, that's not much. Would you prefer air conditioning or brakes? And I was like, I think I want both on this one. And they're like, well, it seems aggressive at your price point, but we'll see what we can do. No problem. Do you have your own tires you can bring to this transaction? I was like, I'm gonna need your tires. And they go, okay, there are 11 vehicles in North America that match your criteria. This one just got hit by a deer. If you want to take a look at it. Those look like little older SUVs, and they always throw one car in there, it's way too new. And I always got to click on it to see what's wrong with it. It's always been like a demolition derby or a shootout or something. And this one they showed me a 2023 with 317,000 miles on it. I was just like, how? Has it been running the whole time? Do I have to catch it? Is that part of the car buying process and the price? But listen, this one's possessed. It's been going since we made it, but there's a window down. It's going through your neighborhood next week, so you can get in there, it's yours. Good luck, Ghost Riders. How does it make luck? I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are. I've lost about 50 pounds over the past few years, and I only say how much because when you're around people you know, you have to tell them how much weight you've lost. Otherwise, they'll tell you how much weight they think you've lost, and that is always much worse. I was out with family recently, my uncle goes, nephew, how much weight have you lost? And I said, it's not really about the number, I'm just getting leaner and stronger and I feel great. And then later I heard him talking to somebody else and he goes, my nephew must have lost 150, 200 pounds. Suddenly the number was very important to me. I was like, hey, it's 50, can I talk to you over here for a second? Have you been telling strangers that I lost 200 pounds? This is how you got fired from the carnival, you know? Got some people's weights wrong. Giving away all your stuffed animals. That's way too much. You know what weighs 200 pounds? A small washer-dryer combo, okay? You can't be running around telling people I lost a stackable. That's a whole different level. Now they're looking at me like I'm wearing regular shoes for the first time. Also, I weigh 200 pounds now. You thought I weighed 400 pounds? And we never talked about it? In his defense, I was a pretty big guy, but I wasn't on TV for it or anything, you know? I feel like somebody would have picked up a show called My 400-Pound Nephew. That's got hit written all over it. We both could have picked it. I've been losing weight through hard work, and I'm not sure that's the best way to lose weight nowadays, right? Because now when people lose weight, what's the first thing we all think of? Ozempic, and I'm not on Ozempic, and no one believes me. No one believes at the exact same time in history that a miracle weight loss drug came around, I started to get my life together. No one's buying it. It sucks. And if you're not familiar, Ozempic's a miracle drug, right? It's changing people's lives. It's a shot you give yourself, like so many of my heroes from my childhood. Hulk Hogan, Lance Armstrong, Barry Bonds, just to name a few. Okay, I'm dividing the room. Listen, these are just jokes, okay? If you're on Ozempic, I'm just jealous you're doing better than me, and you probably have health insurance. And if you're on Ozempic and you're mad about this joke, just know that irritability is just one of many side effects that you can get. My only issue is that no one believes me. Does that make sense? Some other day was like, all right, then how are you losing the weight? I'm like, well, I'm eating better, I'm working out, I quit drinking, I quit smoking, and he goes, you know what? I'm just going to try Ozempic. Am I doing it wrong? I feel like the last kid doing his own homework after ChatGPT came out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take my health a little more seriously as I get older. I think it's important to do. I started going to a new doctor. My new doctor, she's very attractive. I don't recommend that. I don't think you should go to a hot doctor, male or female. And my doctor, she's too hot. The moment she walked in, I was like, this can't be a network. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard to be vulnerable if your doctor's too attractive. Does that make sense? She was like taking my height. I was standing on my tippy toes. You know. My doctor goes, how often do you exercise? And I was like, most of the time. Yeah. If I'm not making money or helping the less fortunate, I am pumping iron. That is just how I like to live my life. That's who I am in my usually engaged core. Get that whenever you want to. Hot doctor goes, you ever experienced any problems in the bedroom? I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay. My headboard's broken, if that's what you're getting at. So that's not what I'm getting at all. I was like, oh, the market down is a yes. We'll come back to that later. They want to take a look at my heart. So they sent me for something called an angiogram. Everything turned out fine. That's the good news, okay? But they sent me off of this procedure, and the ER nurse is wheeling me around explaining what they're going to do. She goes, here's what's going to happen. We're going to anesthetize you. Then we're going to send a camera up through your right wrist all the way up to your heart so we can see your heart. But just in case we can't get in through your right wrist, we need a backup plan. So we're going to shave your groin just in case. Do you have any questions? Okay, just one. What's wrong with my other wrist? That seems like a way better backup plan, right? My groin's so far away. That's crazy. There's nothing between my wrist and my groin. Like, I feel like my belly button was made for this. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sheath going in. It's doing half the work for you. But I never got an answer to that question. It's like the second I was done asking it, the anesthetic kicked in all the way. Almost like I was onto something, you know? Almost like he knows, crank him up. They hit me over the head with a frying pan just to make sure I was out. Woke up with a welt on my head and a shaved groin. They're like, your heart's fine. And I just used the weirdest hospital I've ever been to. I'm in the van right now. What's happening? My therapist just told me he's retiring. That feels personal. And I go to therapy to learn more about my anxiety. My therapist told me what I have is called anticipatory anxiety. I was like, I was afraid you might say that. You guys been a lot of fun. You're going to love Derrick Stroup. I'm Jim Flanagan. Thanks so much.
Keep it going for Jim Flanagan, everybody. And while we're at it, let's give another applause to the wait staff working hard for you tonight. Make sure you take care of them. That's all right. You ready for your headliner? He has a Netflix special coming out in March. You've seen him tour with Nate Bargatze. Ladies and gentlemen, go crazy for Derrick Stroup!
Thank y'all. Thank you. Give it up for everybody you've seen so far. Nice to meet y'all. I'm Derrick Stroup. Excited to be here. We've had a fun weekend of shows already. I always enjoy coming to visit y'all. The airport is my favorite thing. It's the longest trip from gate to Uber in the entire country. I mean, it's unreal. Y'all ever land at the airport and feel like that you're always at the gate that's at the end of the airport? I mean, I'm at the gate against the mountain, just right there. It's the longest walk ever. They have the electric walkways now, but they're littered with people that are built like me that have given up. They just get on there and they lay all their stuff down, and you gotta go, hey, this isn't where you die, okay? This helps people like us finish the walk. Crazy, man. Anyways, I hope that y'all keep bringing every kid you have on there. It's a real blessing. Yeah, what a blessing. Let all 7 of them run on there at the same time. Don't worry about me, I'll just be in the back. They're playing Marco Polo on a moving belt. Anyways, man, 3 p.m. show. I know this is like an overflow show, so I'm not going to be hard on y'all. I've heard some of the comments. Some of y'all are like, hey, we didn't have a choice, okay? We didn't want to be here at 3, but it was our only option. And then there's some of y'all that are a little bit more of a soft food crowd, you know? They're like, well, 3 p.m. really works for me. I got up at 4 this morning. I'm going to lay down at 6. I'm not joking. The waitress came into our green room. She goes, do y'all want anything to eat? I go, I just had brunch. I'm good. So much. Now, one thing you learn about brunch around here is, I mean, Jim's right. We waited for an hour because we didn't know what y'all locals do. We didn't know y'all came and put your name on the list and then went skiing and came back later. I mean, me and Jim are just sitting on a bench taking wind to the face. People just get out of their cars and they're up next. And I finally had to ask the lady, I go, hey, this is for my sanity. These people are putting their names down and then leaving. She goes, they all are. I go, thank you so much. I thought we were just getting bumped down to, I mean, just people, 9 people hop out of the minivan, they got a table just waiting on them. Anyways. One of the best meals I've had in a while. I don't know if y'all have ever been to Skillet's for breakfast. I guess not. Well, yes, I found a spot. Okay? Y'all got to check this place out. It is unbelievable. All right? I mean, you got to put your name down in the middle of the week and then go on Saturday. No, because all the best places, the best coffee, the best food, they have 9 chairs. They have 9 chairs. Every coffee shop I've ever loved has room for 1 chair and a house plant. And you go, no, thanks for having the best coffee in America. Anyways, I'm excited to be here. I live in New York City. I think that they've rubbed off on me a little bit, you know? I mean, I have that in me. I'm an emotional guy already. I live in that world. You know, I'm the type of person that if I let you over in traffic and you don't thank me, I feel like that I should be able to follow you home. And I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not. But I just want to ask you in your driveway if you think you're better than me. I just got to know, you know? You hurt my feelings, and I just want to, you know. I struggle with stuff like that, man. I struggle with, you know, like if I'm at a crosswalk waiting to cross the street, if you come up behind me and push the button, it's hard for me not to turn around and ask you, do you not think that I've already done that? Do you think I'm waiting here going, what if there's an easier way to get to the other side? I think it's an important time to be nice to strangers, you know. Southerners, we catch a lot of flack for being polite and overly nice. They say it's fake, it's not real, and they might be right sometimes, you know. No, y'all get it, Utah. Don't act like I'm losing you on this. We all do this dance. It's an important dance. You don't have to be sincere. It's crazy. You don't have to open the door with somebody for somebody and mean it with all your heart. You can just do it because you were raised that way. I mean, it's crazy how people act. Nobody's ever cut you off in traffic, said sorry, and you went, I don't think they meant that. You know? It's clearly a mental health problem in this country. You know, I mean, some of y'all think it's just your cul-de-sac. It's nationwide. And it's getting tougher and tougher to tell if somebody has AirPods in or if they don't care anymore. AirPods are making it tough out here. I mean, I've had to, if you want to talk to me in public, you're going to have to come touch my shoulder, okay? I'm done assuming with you Secret Service agents walking around, making eye contact with somebody while talking. And then me going, excuse me, and then you pointing at your ear and going, oh, okay. Sorry about that. New York City's an interesting place. I mean, as soon as me and my wife moved there, we had a mouse situation. And it's just so New York City, I couldn't wrap my head around. And I mean, these were the biggest mice I've ever seen. Some people tell me they were rats. I mean, I don't know. I can tell you the difference in a mouse and a rat. It's in the shoulder neck area. I can tell you that. I mean, these were the biggest mice. I mean, I opened the cabinet, they had their hats on backwards. I've never seen anything. I threw rat poison in there. One of them picked it up and used it as war paint. Another one bit the top off and rolled it out like a grenade. These things were huge. I tried to use glue traps, and glue traps only do half the job. They're for psychopaths. You don't even kill the rodent. Now they're just stuck on a piece of paper looking at you like, what's your next move, big dog? Now you got me. What are we gonna do with it? You gonna stomp me out? You got problems, man. No, glue traps are crazy. I was in the living room watching TV. One of the mice came in. He was dragging the trap with his leg. He got right in front of me and he goes, "Kill me like a man!" And then he just drug it into the other room. I'll tell you what I like about New York City. I like the food. I do. I'm a salt, sodium guy. I love salt. I'll buy bologna and just suck on it. You know? When I get done eating dinner, I want to take my socks off and it looks like I still got them on. And I know most of y'all don't even get that joke. I know who I'm talking to. Some of y'all ran to this show. You know, a good meal will make your legs bottleneck. Sometimes I put on compression socks just to see my veins. That joke hits harder the further south you go. They tell you to read the labels on stuff. That's how you know how to eat healthy. But if you don't know what you're reading, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know how many grams of sugar is too many grams. So I've just started reading the numbers to my friends, and depending on how they react, I just pivot from there. When I was drinking something the other day, true story, I go, this has 82 grams of sugar. My buddy went, goodness. And I just threw it over my shoulder. That was a close call. I wouldn't believe how good that was. It tastes like hummingbird food in a cup. I don't have any idea. Just the other day, I have a crock pot recipe that I put up every week. I do crock pot videos from a joke I did several years ago. And I mean, recently I've started using low sodium products. And do you know how awkward it is at the end of the video to tell them that we need to add some salt? Every time you use enough low sodium, you're going to need some salt at the end. I don't know how some of y'all don't use. I mean, if you want something to taste good, it's going to have to make your lips pucker a little bit. I've truly tried to eat healthy. I've just trained my body in the wrong way. Like, my stomach reacts to salads like some of y'all's reacts to Taco Bell. It's like, what is this? We've never seen a carrot. We don't know what a carrot is. Sometimes I need some chicken fingers to get back on my feet again. Well, when I lived in Denver, all the hipsters, they'd go, you need a smoothie, you need a juice drink, you need some juice. I was like, if I have any more juice and somebody bumps into me, I'm going to poop my britches, man. I'm not built for juice. Children are built for juice. If I have 2 cups of apple juice back to back, I'm fighting for my life. And they go, it's a cleanse, it's a cleanse. I go, I know diarrhea when I run into it. The only difference in diarrhea and a cleanse is you see one of them coming. Hipsters have never helped me. They're the same people that said I needed deodorant without aluminum. Come to find out, I need all the aluminum. I tried that hippie Tom's deodorant that runs off a tree bark and friendship. I need something that fights for me. When I take a hot shower, I want to feel my armpits burn, man. I look for rashes. I go, good, rash it up. And listen, if you've gone natural with your deodorant, you do not have to tell us. We knew before you knew. Yeah, you smell like sandalwood and chives, man. We smell you. We're in boarding group 3 going, somebody has gone natural. I'm glad you're going to save the planet. You're going to kill us. I know when you're in Utah, it's funny, I talk about eating and food a lot on stage. Y'all are like the healthiest people in the country. And I got to tell you, as a big guy, this is what confidence looks like. I don't mind being a big person. I'm from Alabama. We learned about Jesus and football at a very young age. And as a big person in Alabama, it just means that you were either a football player or you gave up early. You know? Like, being a big person's a good life. You know, there's some things that are tough, I think, that I deal with that you skinny people don't deal with, like getting a stain on one of my clothes. Like, if I get a stain on me, it's the end of my day, okay? And I'm telling you, nobody cares if you're fat, but if you're fat with a stain, they act like you're trying to give up. I mean, I've had strangers go, hey, you're too young, man. If a skinny person gets a stain on them, it doesn't play the same. They go, what happened? Did a fat person spill something on you? I know you don't live that life. Did a big person drop fry sauce on you? Tying my shoes is a little tougher for me. It's like as close as you can get to free diving without water. I've only got a couple seconds to get done what I need to get done. And it's just never a good look. I'm an athletic guy. I know I don't exactly look, but your boy can move. But when I tie my shoes, it looks like I need a rascal scooter, man. I mean, I only got a couple seconds, and then I come up, and I mean, I can't even see. I mean, it's just scars in front of me. That's just one shoe, and then I gotta get air, and I go back in again. And y'all see me because I'm tying it. When I'm tying it, I'm starting to get brought back up to the top again. I gotta tie this before I get to the top of the water. It's tough, man. I don't know. I tell people I have a slow metabolism, but I've never given it a chance. You know what I mean? That's not fair to my metabolism. It might be a good one. I might have a really good one. But every day I wake up, I just pour gravy on. I go, how are you going to talk to me when I can't hear you? The food is great. It's just, I lived in Denver for 10 years, which has a similar recreational culture to y'all. Y'all eat similar things, you know. If they cut y'all's stomachs open, there'd be a lot of trail mix in both of them. And God bless y'all, man, but both of y'all eat different than I do. Y'all use food for energy, okay? A concept I don't even understand. I'm trying to take a nap after every meal. I want to put myself down like an old dog, man. I want my eyes to fog over, and the last thing I hear is somebody saying, he was a good boy. You should eat whatever you want right now. The world's on fire. If you watch the news and go, I'll take a kale salad, you're sick in the head. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. This is ice cream news. Okay? This is Fruity Pebbles news. I fly all the time for my job, and I hate flying. But when you have my accent and you tell people you hate to fly, they assume you do not know how airplanes work. Every time I go, man, I hate flying. And they go, don't you run from technology, Derrick. I don't think that's what's going on, man. It's the people on airplanes that drive me crazy. Like, I think middle seat people have lost their mind. I don't know who lied to middle seat people, but they have no armrests. They're barely on the flight. They're the only seat in every row that if they don't show up, we celebrate. We take a picture of their empty seat and we put it on Instagram and we go, what a blessing, man. I saw a middle seat person a few weeks ago. They pulled out a laptop. I could not believe it. I did not know how to tell him that nobody's in an office waiting on a middle seat email. If anybody cared about your email, you'd be in the aisle, big dog. And I just took a peek at your spreadsheet. This quarter's got you in a headlock. You should get your Kindle out and read a story about being a big boy. And I'll tell you, my confidence comes from being an aisle seat guy. I take my job seriously. I'm the captain of my row. It is my row. Some of y'all struggle with that. I can help you with it. I mean, listen, you want to go to the bathroom, you're going to have to talk to me first. And we'll work out something that everybody can get behind. Do you want a snack? I'll hand you a Biscoff when I get to it. Because the flight attendant's going to give me snacks to give to my team when I'm ready. When the plane lands, what do? Aisle seats? Woo! We stand up. We do not clap. No, we don't. We got a clapper right here. Hey, security! Just blow dart shut. Just I hate the clapping when we land. See how much that ticket was? When we land, I go, about time! No, we stand up. It's our right and our privilege as aisle seat people. Middle of the window, they act like it's a judgment of our character, which is really rich coming from people that can't even stand. They want to. We've seen them. They look like goblins over there. I mean, there's nowhere for them to go. Sometimes you get lucky and they bang their head. And I go, get back in there. You'll get off this plane when all the aisles do. And I know there's some of y'all in this room that keep your seat until your exact row comes up. Get up! What do you want? You think when you do that, we go, what a man! I can't imagine what type of character he has. Did you see that? He waited until it was his exact row. Oh my goodness! Hit it, salt and pepper! What a man, what a man, what a man, You get the same cookie people get that run up the escalator. It's made of concrete. Anyways. I knew I'd lose you at running up the escalator. Got a bunch of healthy people in there. It hurts my feelings when I get to the elevator and I feel relief. And you guys go, no, this is my favorite part. They fall. Past 18 months of my life has been just the best. So many blessings, really, professionally, personally. Me and my wife, I say wife, well, we are married. We got married the past 18 months. I was going to say me and my wife got married. A little redundant. But yeah, it's the first time I've been married. I'm 40. I've been on the run for a while. Okay? You got to eventually turn yourself in. Y'all know, this room knows better than anybody. You don't get married in your 20s, they start making up rumors about you. No, it's not a big deal. He's always been a candle guy. I've got a good woman. She's from Kansas. Everybody should get a partner from Kansas. They're very easy to impress. She's from a town of 89 people. I show her a 4-story building. She's like, how'd they get up there? I go, elevators. Maybe I'm going to show you the world. And I know some of y'all are going, hey, Derrick, I think being from Alabama and making fun of Kansas is a lateral move. You know? And I get that, but let me explain myself, okay? When you grow up in the South, everybody tells you you live in the middle of nowhere. And then one day you visit the Midwest and you realize you've been lied to. Where I'm from, we talk different and our food's fried, but we can see our neighbors, okay? There's parts of the Midwest that if you got the flu, that'd be the last flu you ever got. There's no medical care. It's like the Oregon Trail. They're going to give you a warm rag and sing a hymn. Kansas is the flattest place I've ever been. I feel like every prison in the country should be in Kansas. You could watch an inmate run away all weekend. Would you imagine the conversation in the guard tower? He's like, listen, Jason, don't shoot him. I like to watch him give up. Yeah, there's nothing out there. He's scared to death, Jason. He's running back towards it. Well, my wife, she's great. She'll travel with me sometimes, which is fun too. Like we visited New York City before we moved there. I'd been there a bunch for comedy. Alyssa had never been there. We went to Times Square. It was really a sight to see. Alyssa, she was looking around. I'll never forget it. She goes, Derrick, I'll be honest, there's more Amish people here than I expected. And I go, Alyssa, those are Jewish people. I go, I know it's tough to tell from 50 yards away, but you've got the wrong Abraham there. And to get this joke, you got to know what a Hasidic Jew and an Amish person is. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all heard my accent and the word Jew, and you went, I'm going to sit this one out. Jewish people know it's a zinger. Amish people love it too. I did that joke in Pennsylvania. They got on their horses. They go, no, that's comedy right there. That's something we can make some butter to. Oh, it's been a great year, you know. For the past 18 months, year and a half, it's been the best. Me and my wife, we had a baby boy just 3.5 months ago. Yeah, so exciting. Old Seth Stroup, it's the best. You know, I learned a lot during the pregnancy. Like, I never knew as a heavy-set man I would be so helpful in that journey. Yeah, everything she was going through, I had already been through. I couldn't say it without laughing. I mean, seriously, the list was long. I'll never forget, she came into the living room and she goes, I can't sleep on my stomach or my back. And I go, me either, Alyssa. I'm going to have to teach you. I have to teach you how to put pillow between her legs. And I go, you're going to have to ski down that mountain. She said, my hip, it hurts. I go, it will. You got to flip more. She came in there, she goes, none of my clothes fit anymore. I told her, will it ever end? You know? Our dryer's running hot. All my polos look like crop tops. I mean, we have the hottest dryer in the country. My jeans turn into capris overnight. And my argument falls on deaf ears because I've got gravy on my shirt while I'm telling you the dryer's stealing my clothes. My wife's like, I think there's a few things going on, you know? There's some variables to your situation. She said she was starting to chafe bad, you know? And she's like, how do I fix it? And I go, you're not going to believe this, but you're talking to the right guy. I go, I've been chafing since 91. I had to teach her about gold bonds. I go, listen, you're going to smell like Pawpaw, but you're going to be on the move. You're going to be on the move. I go, don't put too much on and sit down. You'll be covered in it, okay? That stuff travels. A dab will do you on that. It'll be up your back. You get a blowout in that. It'll be up your back. The dynamic of our relationship changed. Normally, I'm a lot bigger than my wife. We don't really match up as a couple. Like when you see us coming, you go, man, he must be funny, man. I can imagine how silly he is. And how she'll love on me. If I drop something on the ground, she'll pick it up. So all the blood doesn't rush to my head. She won't make me fight with that recliner. She'll grab the billfold for me. That's how you love on big people. But as the pregnancy went on, the dynamic changed. We got a little closer in build. One time I dropped something in the living room and we both just looked at it. And I go, somebody's going to have some blood go to their head. One time she dropped an ice cube. She went to go pick it up. I go, Alyssa, we don't pick up ice cubes. I go, nobody picks up ice cubes. Ice cubes live under the fridge. She goes, what happens after that? I go, it turns into water and in the mold. Nobody cares. I gained 17 pounds during her pregnancy. Yeah, I did it because I wanted to be a good partner, you know? They said if you want to be a good dad, you need to eat lo mein at midnight with your wife. So I did until I couldn't anymore. I had to draw the line. I go, Alyssa, you're going to kill me. I mean, we went to the doctor. The doctor was like, you're in a higher percentile than your baby is. She goes, the baby's at 75%. You're at 99. I was like, oh. I mean, I blew up, but I had to tell Alyssa, I go, you're going to kill me, okay? And she didn't understand. I had to explain to her, our journeys are totally different. Yours is not permanent, okay? You're renting your property. I own my land, all right? You're going to have a baby and then lose 40 pounds. I can't take a dump and get rid of this. This is the new me. Elastic khaki Stroup, you know? exciting having a kid, you know, show them the world. I'm excited, you know, I speak above my age. I'm a pretty old school guy. But I was born in '84, raised in the 90s. I'm a proud 90s kid. Yeah, we were the last generation to not be ruled by the internet. The last ones to know where our friends were by the bikes in the yard. Kids these days, they don't know real jealousy. They've never been riding around the neighborhood and found out in real time that everybody's swimming at Jason's. There was no group chat in '92. You just wrote up on it, you know? You go, look what we have. It's a different time. We did everything in person back then. I think that builds a little character. There was none of this texting and emails and any of that. You had to do things in person. We didn't even call the house to hang out with our friends. You have to go knock on the door. I can remember you'd walk up, knock on the door. Can Thomas play today? Thomas is grounded until he dies. Yeah. You know, have a great afternoon. I'm glad you don't make your parents' life a living hell. You go, oh, well, that was a lot of information. I guess I'll check on Ryan then. It's a different time. I'd like to bring back some of that stuff. You know, back in the day when we had a crush on a girl, we'd have to call the house, talk to a parent before we talked to our crush. I believe that's important. That's a rite of passage, creates respect, and most of all, it's terrifying for the kid. And that's the best part. A little fear never hurt anybody. You got to make that phone call. You're going to have to get through dad to talk to the girl. And that's the way that it is. I can remember that phone call till this day, especially because our phone calls back in the day were in front of the whole family. There's this crazy word that kids use these days that doesn't make any sense to me, and it's privacy. Okay? There is no privacy. We had no privacy. Your phone's my phone. That book, I'll read it. Have a good day. Everything's everybody's. And I remember that phone call. Here's the living room. Here's the kitchen. The doorway would be right here. The phone is connected to the wall. Nowhere to run. You're just right here, talking to your crush. And she'd go, you're acting kind of weird. You'd go, no, I'm not. My dad just turned off the TV so he could hear us talk. And then he'd go, that's not me breathing. My mom just got on the phone. It's a different time. My mother did not get on there to have a conversation. She would listen until she was busted, and then she'd go, 5 more minutes. Okay, that's my mom. She's pretty cool. You wouldn't believe me, but she is. I can remember the phone call till this day. I can hear her father answer the phone. He'd go, yellow. And I'd go, is Hannah home? He'd go, yeah, she's running around here somewhere. He'd go, who am I speaking with? And I'd go, this is Derrick Stroup. He'd go, nice to meet you, Derrick. I'm Jeff Turner. I'm Hannah's father. So why are we calling my daughter tonight? Y'all remember that? See, the kids these days are not built for that direct communication. If that happened to one of y'all's kids today, they hand you the phone, they go, Jeff wants to talk to you. Some of y'all would take the phone. Hey, Jeff, it's Melissa. How you doing? Yeah, he breaks out into hives when people talk to him. No, we're going to get him into coding at a young age. He is a little awkward. He'll make a lot more money than your kid, though. No, back in the day, we had to send him a line. You know, I was going to ask Hannah a question about math. And this was not Jeff's first rodeo. He'd go, Derrick, you're not going to believe this, but I'm pretty good at math myself. What are we working on? Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. The only thing that would save you would be a mother in the background. They would eventually go, Jeff, that's enough. Hannah's crying in the dining room. You don't know when to quit, Jeff. It's not funny to us. Then you got to hear a grown man get in trouble, which was cool. You know? You go, yeah, Jeff, go away, Jeff with a G. It's fun looking back at these experiences. I was a bus rider growing up. I think that helped mold who I am today. Some of y'all were car riders. I know it when I meet you. Your hands are soft. You're not built like a bus rider. Car riders, your day started off with a Lunchable and a high five. The last thing you saw was a minivan full of love. Bus riders, our day started off with chaos and death threats. If you miss the bus, so help me! I'm in there ironing my pants. They're on me. I'm like, oh my goodness. And the bus was flawless. I grew up out in the country. My bus was K through 12. The whole school was on one bus. It should not be that way. We grew up fast. I was a third grader sitting next to 10th graders. I was hearing words I didn't understand, sentences I couldn't comprehend. That's because the bus was the internet before the internet ever existed. It was Google on wheels, and the further you went on the back of that bus, the deeper in the internet you got. That last row was the dark web, man. I had a 7th grader back there with some burn CDs and a black and mild. Car riders, you don't know about that long ride to school when you miss the bus. And your parents act like everybody's jobs are up for grabs. My mother, she'd be smoking a cigarette driving me to school. She'd go, now your dad's going to be 20 minutes late. I'm going to be 15 minutes. Don't roll that window down. We're going to smoke this together. You don't care about anybody but yourself. That's the problem. That crack in the window is so tiny, man. They were so scared the wind was going to get a pull off that cigarette. They had it down in the floorboard. I should have just bought the window pack for them, man. Listen, I'll give you a behind the scenes real quick, okay? I'm a professional comedian and I do my homework, all right? And Utah is number 50 out of 50 for smoking cigarettes. I have a cigarette bit that I've done every show this weekend that is unreal. I mean, I do it in Arkansas, and now I'm the mayor of their town. But it's so exhausting walking you guys through that bit. But I'm just taking it out. Because you guys are such a good audience, I can't watch you laugh at something you're barely understanding. I mean, it's a beautiful cigarette bit. And I see y'all just fighting for your life. Going, man, I've seen this on TV. I've seen it from people that litter. I've just never heard it. I just want y'all to know how self-aware I am. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I've got a great bit about how they might help the world get back on track. Anyways, I think kids these days are good kids overall. You know, I just think that there's some things that we can bring back to help them. Okay, like I haven't seen a kid get spanked in a grocery store in over a decade. I think that's healthy. That lets me know that we're where we kind of need to be. I mean, you could count on that back in the day. You'd go, I'm going to swing through Blockbuster, then I'm going to go to the store and watch a kid get beat up. The house. I mean, it was so common back in the day, other parents would chime in. You'd be getting spanked, they'd walk up and they'd go, that's why you listen to your parents. I don't even know y'all, man. That's crazy to say something. It's a different time. Things we could bring back. Overreacting as parents, I think that works. I grew up in an overreacting home. It really does. My dad would do it out of nowhere. The things you thought would make him upset didn't rattle him. Something you thought he'd never care about, he was ready to burn it all down. Keeps you on your toes. You forget to take out the trash. You turn the corner. My dad would be standing there, nothing on but some gym shorts in their driveway. He'd go, me and your mother have tried. You go, excuse me? And you go, one day when you don't have a job, don't look around and wonder why. It starts with the small things. And you're like, there's no way my childhood is hinging on this bag of trash. He'd get so upset he'd refer to my mother as his wife. He'd go, you're not going to talk to my bride this way. And I go, we're not a family anymore? He'd start just making up stuff. Me and my woman are living an honest life. I'm like, okay, Yellowstone, what's happening? And mom's always, you learn when you get older, mom's always standing behind dad like she's so shocked with everything she's doing. And then you grow up and you realize, hey, you can't act shocked. You're the one that called this drone strike, okay? You're the one that called this in, and now we're getting taken care of. And mom's in the back just, oh, I can't believe it. No, Stacy, you did this to us. You grow up and you realize that being a dad is getting fake mad because you're the enforcer. You gotta walk in and go, oh, you're all in for it now. I'm a crazy man. And really, you just want want to talk to kids about what trickle down is, you know? You go, you made your mom mad, and I'm under your mom, so now it trickles down to me, and it ends up on you guys. I think kids these days have never been bored. I do believe that. They've never been. They think they've been. When kids these days think they're bored, isn't it hilarious?
Yes.
When they go, I mean, my nephew came up to me on a hoverboard holding a tablet. He goes, Uncle Derrick, I'm bored. I go, Joseph, it looks like you're from the future. You're the most unbored looking person I've ever seen. They don't even know what to, they've never been so bored they've made friends with a cardinal in a tree. No, I mean, they've never been that bored. They've never just watched a bird and been like, that is a cool bird. That's bored out of your mind, man. They've never rode in the back of a family vehicle with no electronics on an 8-hour trip with Rush Limbaugh blaring through the speakers. You're just sitting in the back, just nauseated by his tone. I don't even know what he's talking about. My dad just turns around every 30 minutes and goes, that's why we bury our money. They don't know bored. There's not sibling violence like there once was. We used to really hurt each other. You remember before there was all this overstimulation, video games, you would play outside with your siblings for 9 or 10 hours straight. I mean, that's tough. Eventually you just look at your brother and you go, you know what, I'm gonna send it, man. I'm gonna send it. And you just fold him in half. And he'd lay on the ground and he'd whimper and you'd go, golly, I like it, I do. Felt like a load was off your shoulders. Then your mom would go, why would you do that? And you go, well, you gave us sidewalk chalk and we have a gravel driveway. I honestly thought about it for a long time and I made the decision I'm good with. They couldn't play the games we played growing up. I mean, we made up all of our own games. Everything, there was no internet for us to look up rules and to play stuff. We had to find our own games, make up our own rules. It would have been nice to have some stuff in print. That would have been good. We were out just making up our own stuff, just arguing. I mean, the internet, if it's helped anything, it saved us a few words. I have lost every argument since 2004. Before that, I was not what you wanted. I could be wrong, but I'm going to burn this building down. Yeah, you got any proof? You got anything? You don't. I'm going to keep getting louder until I smack you into submission. Now you just Google it and go, you're an idiot. Look at that. You just said Central Park was 34 miles long, Derrick. That's a true story. I was with John Chris. He's like, how big's Central Park? I go, it's massive. Almost 35 miles. I see John going, he goes, I thought Manhattan was 35 miles. We look it up. Central Park is like 2 miles. You know that. I thought it was the size of Rhode Island. My redneck self, I was like, I didn't know it was this big! But no, the games we play, like you couldn't bring back Purple Nurple with these kids. No, they don't have the nipples for it, man. If you grabbed a kid today, they'd go, safe space, safe space. You could still grab mine today and I'd go, is that all you got? I've been in the jungle, man. These things are calloused from years of being on the run. I mean, in the 90s, you'd just be cruising through your grandmother's living room. Your brother would hop out and light you up. Grab your other one and go, hey, jumper cables, you know. And you can learn a little bit about yourself. You go, I don't hate this wheel, but you're rough, man. I wish you'd hang on, but let go. You know? We took regular playground games, turned them into the Thunderdome. Red Rover got physical. We'd go, Red Rover, send Kevin right over. Kevin would think it was a normal afternoon, so we got about right there. Then at the last minute, we'd tighten our grip. Hey-ya! Welcome to the jungle, Kevin! Now Kevin's on his back. He swallowed his retainer. You gotta be a certain age to remember that dodgeball we grew up with. That one that was made out of tire tread. It was heavy, but it still bounced. It's like when they made it in the factory, they were like, yeah, this will hurt them. I can still hear that ball bounce off a kid's head till this day. You hear that whack, you turn around, that kid would be just, the ball goes 50 feet in the air. No, we wanted to dodge that ball. I mean, we were all out there like, oh, here it comes, here it comes. I miss the old school PE teachers we had. The ones that didn't have degrees, it was just somebody the community trusted. We had Coach Sykes, man. He was great. He'd be over in the corner with a tucked in Jimmy Buffett shirt, sneaking a cigarette. That kid would be on the ground flopping like a fish after getting hit. Coach would walk over to him, hey, look at me. Look at me, son. You're out. You're out. You gotta get out of the way. I know that hurts. Life hurts. Wait till a woman leaves you. That'll sting. We were 11. We're like, when a woman what? I like the game Twister. Was a wild game growing up. I grew up in a strict household. I was shocked when we were allowed to play Twister. I had a crush on Amanda. They wouldn't let me near her. Then they pull out Twister. They go, hey, Amanda, come touch the yellow dot. Then they go, hey, Derrick, come sit on Amanda's neck and touch the blue dot. I could not believe it. They pull it out for the youth group. I go, finally, this Sunday's going my way. Twister should not be for kids. Twister should be for single 30-year-olds that can't figure it out. We pull out Twister and we go, everybody that struggles with eye contact and wants a family, grab a dot. That visual's so funny. It's Wednesday night at church and it's like, I want to get a family. Get a family. Boy, yellow's a long way away. Is there any outdoor games I haven't mentioned yet that y'all grew up playing? Famous, popular outdoor games.
Hopscotch.
Now listen, Four Squares, I really don't know much about chalk, okay? I grew up in Harvest, Alabama, all right? Anything the rain could take away, I didn't know about, all right? Some of y'all grew up around a lot of concrete. That was tough for me to find. I've maybe played it once in my life, but I honestly don't know much about Foursquare. Kick the can. Well, I'm glad you picked an electric game. That is unreal. Nothing like a good game of kick the can to get the afternoon going. I don't even understand. That's the same game my mom said she grew up playing, and it's like, that's just a crazy thought to me. I'd rather play in a dry creek bed than play kick the can. But sometimes that's all you got, I guess. I heard somebody say tetherball. Tetherball is not a game for me either, but I believe that anybody that brings up tetherball is probably very good at tetherball. I think that's somebody that doesn't know much about the game tossing it out, because we remember you tetherball people trying to bring us over. Hey, come on! We're like, no, we're good. We have friends. We're gonna hang out with. No, that pole's all you. I know the game still exists. They mainly sell it to cats. But it's, see a few calicos knocking it around. Is there any other games, outdoor games?
Smear the queer.
Smear the queer, I heard that for sure. Now that's a spicy one right there. No, but that was the most popular game. It depends on where you're at in the country to how quick that game gets brought up. It really does. I mean, it really depends. I was in Texas. It was the only game they knew. I was trying to give them other ones. I go, kickball. They go, never heard of it. Smear the word. Okay. All right. You know, I mean, I will defend us a little bit here. It's not like, because people will try to frame it in a certain way. Here's the truth. We were not 8 years old in the 90s knowing exactly what the word queer meant. We were not in the yard like, hey, fellas, let's tackle the marginalized. That's how they want to play it back. It's not true. I just knew that if you were the queer, you needed to run. Because they are smearing out here. I've seen it, okay? And it's not like we picked on people. Everybody got a turn. We weren't like picking on people. We weren't like, no, your clothes match, you're in again. Which would have been funny. No, it's funny. I'm glad you know, that is by far the number one game. But like I talk about on stage, my accent makes things play a little different. So I can't come up with Smear the Queer and bring it to y'all. It's just never received well. Every time people are like, I knew you'd show your colors. So I have to have someone toss it up here and me go, oh, this is so crazy. What a wild thing to say. Maybe I have thoughts. This is weird. Because I've tried to bring it up in like the room, they hate it. It's a life, I'm glad I talk this way. I can't help it. It's not like something that but it does pigeonhole me sometimes. Like, I was in the doctor's office a few weeks ago, sitting there, and this Indian gentleman sat beside me, and I had a Nuggets hat on, and he goes, "You a fan of the NBA?" And I am. I love the NBA. I have my whole life. And I go, "And it's rigged." And I go, "Yeah, I am." And he goes, "Man, my favorite player is Steph Curry." And I just could not get over the irony of what was happening. I was kind of looking around the room like, okay, all right, you got me. This Indian man loves Steph Curry. Come on out with the camera. Because, but I knew with my accent that but I just want, in a perfect world, I'd like to think if I sat down beside him, sounding like I do, and I went, man, my favorite basketball player is Charles Brisket. And I'd like to think that he'd go, that is silly, Nobody ever brings up my favorite game. Ding Dong Ditch is my favorite game. That's a real adrenaline rush, I don't think, listen, I grew up in the perfect scenario for it. I grew up in Harvest, Alabama on a gentleman's farm, 15 acres across the street from a 2-lane highway that went to a giant subdivision. I'd put on a no fear shirt, knock down some bagel bites, and I'd get to work. I'd do 3 or 4 houses, jump in a ditch. I was like, I'm a gang member, baby. The block's hot, it's your boy. Unfortunately, it's your boy. You could not play that game anymore with Ring doorbell. It would end immediately. You'd be getting phone calls. Hey, Deborah, it's me again. I'm looking at your son, Spencer. He's an idiot. I am talking to him through the speaker. He thinks it's God. I think the Pantsing game's the craziest game we play. Insanity. No rules, no teams, no points. Just a weird curiosity. The game's lawless, man. If you're from the age of 35 to 50, you were white-knuckling your gym shorts. Every day. We'd be talking to our principal, and your best friend would come up. How about a little of that right there? All the way to the ground. That's my best friend Craig, man. Oh, we just do this all day long, man. It's insane. And there were some hard lessons learned. We all didn't hit puberty at the same time. I remember we pulled down Tony Spinelli's pants and we went, hey, Tony, you can't play with us anymore. We're all still kids. You clearly have a family. We're going to go home and watch Doug. You need to leave us alone. You're a predator, Tony. Dirtiest clean comedy gets. I tell you, I got to thank y'all for coming out. We got 9 sold out shows this weekend. It means a lot to have y'all out here. Utah holds a special place in my heart. I've been coming here and doing comedy for Wise Guys for years. I've climbed through the ranks, I'm not a TikTok star, okay? I did it the old school way. I was up in Ogden for a couple of years working at Wise Guys. Absolutely loved it, quaint little town. Did Jordan Landing, and now I'm here. So thank y'all so much. Before I get out of here, I dismount on a bit here that I saved for the end because I'm really brave for talking about it. And it's me being a cat guy. As a Southern man, sharing with y'all that I'm a cat guy is a lot braver than you'll ever know. They are tough on cat people. I love cat people, I love cats, but they are tough on. I mean, can you imagine? Y'all got to learn a little bit about my dad, Bill, through my comedy. Can you imagine how he reacted to me getting a cat? It wasn't great. I go, hey, Dad, I bought a cat. He goes, that's a weird way to come out. I go, okay, don't know if you can say that. That's wild, Bill. I mean, if I had a dog, I'd break its heart every weekend, you know? But Jameson, he doesn't care if I leave. He's in the window waving, you know? He's like, bye. He'll help me pack. He's like, I hope it's a long trip. No, I got my cat's great, Jameson. I got a flat-faced Persian, which with my accent sounds like a slur, actually. Even to me. I go, wow, is there another name? He's got a little tiny nose. He can't breathe either. We go upstairs together. We both run out of breath. I go, let's put on a CPAP and call it a night. I'm a loud cat person. That's why I talk about it. You know, that's the only. You just would not read cat person when you meet me. You know, cat people are pretty quiet people. Like, I mean, there's some here today that nobody says much to me after shows. Cat people they keep it, you know, close to the vest. They're emailers. That's how cat people love to communicate. I've had a cat person in front of me go, hold on, we'll send you an email. They love the email. About 1 a.m. I'll get one. Hey, my name's Catherine. I love cats too. I've got 7. How many do you have? And I go, my goodness, Catherine, I can smell the pee through the keyboard. Y'all have a great evening. Y'all were so much fun, man. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all, man. Thank you, man.
It was great. I felt it.
Keep it going for Derrick Stroup, everybody! One more time for Jim Planning and Lisa Arley, too. Thanks for coming to Wise Guys. We have great shows here every weekend. So head to wiseguyscomedy.com to see what's coming up next. We hope to see you again soon. Did we have a good time tonight?